where days after taking power, the new government in Islamabad has announced that it will not be rolling back the billions in fuel subsidies that had been given to the people in Pakistan. Now, this move, of course, has come at a time when there is a strain on public funds. But the now newly appointed Prime Minister, Shehbaz Sharif, has cited that it is not the right time for the government to increase fuel prices in Pakistan. And this despite the soaring price of crude oil, a cut in petrol and electricity tariffs, remember, had been announced by the Imran Khan government in the month of February. And Imran's bid had been to win popular support. But he was ousted in a no-confidence vote last week, and the country's oil and gas regulatory authority had advised that the government should scrap the subsidies that had been announced by the Imran Khan government and should increase the price of petrol, diesel and electricity effective from today. But since a reversal of fuel subsidies will be politically sensitive for the new government that is trying to shore up popular support, the Shehbaz Sharif-led government has now decided against increasing the price of petrol and diesel and electricity for the people of Pakistan. While announcing the move, the new Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif has said that people will curse the new government if it resorts to increasing the price of petrol and diesel, and therefore he said he will not increase the price of petrol and diesel for the people of Pakistan. Listen in to the Prime Minister.
21 रुपए और 50 रुपए ये बढ़ा रहे थे, मुख्तलिफ मदाद में 50 रुपए पर लीटर, 21 रुपए। बहुत बड़ा एक महंगाई का एक पहाड़ अगर आवाम पे गिरता तो 3 दिन में लोग हमें बददुआएं देना शुरू हो जाए। उनको क्या पता कि पिछली हुकूमत ने क्या चक्कर किया और क्या चक्कर चलाया ताकि वो हमें लपेटें। उनको पता था कि शायद ये हुकूमत नहीं आ जाएगी, तो फिर ये जाने उनके काम जाने। चुनांचे मैंने 21 रुपए लीटर और 50 रुपए लीटर वाली समरी मुस्तरद कर दी है।
So that is what Shehbaz Sharif had to say, that a mountain of inflation would have struck the people of Pakistan. Now, in the face of the deteriorating currency, the government doesn't seem to have formulated at this point of time any concrete economic reform measures. Shehbaz Sharif is yet to announce his cabinet. The National Assembly is scheduled to meet later today when Raja Pervez Ashraf of the Pakistan People's Party will assume office of the National Assembly Speaker. The National Assembly will also be taking up the no-confidence resolution that had been moved against the Deputy Speaker Qasim Khan Suri, who is currently functioning as the acting Speaker. And to give us more updates in terms of what's actually happening in Pakistan and how bad the prices of petrol and diesel and electricity actually are, we are joined in by our Islamabad Bureau Chief, Anas Malik, who's joining us live on this broadcast. Good morning to you, Anas. This, of course, is an important day for Pakistan. We heard the new Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif, where he said that he has taken a decision not to increase the price of petrol and diesel and electricity in Pakistan, because he said this would have brought a mountain of inflation. Those are the words that he used on the people of Pakistan. How sensitive is the matter of inflation in Pakistan?
The matter is indeed very sensitive because it's at an all-time high. It's in double figures, the inflation over here in Pakistan. And with the transition in power that just took place less than a week back, this matter is it's beyond the control of the government, at least immediately, and that is one of the reasons we're seeing that this drastic measures that have been taken of looking after and bearing a subsidy on the part of the government that has been taken by the incumbent government now by not increasing the fuel prices. Now, among the other challenges is the challenge of poverty, inflation and economy that is at the forefront for this government, and that is one place that it continues to, or it will continue to battle bigger challenges or bigger hurdles in time to come, given that the budget is just around the corner on the 11th of June. Or somewhere in the mid of June rather, it is to be presented, the new budget is to be presented, and with the opposition, or what is now believed to be former opposition, out on the roads under the leadership of Imran Khan, holding grand rallies. The trouble just seems to mount for the incumbent government that has literally taken charge about 5 days back. Saleh?
Absolutely indeed. Now, the Shehbaz Sharif government has not announced the cabinet yet. How soon can we expect an announcement on that front, Anas?
Well, I've just got a piece of information from our sources, and they say that almost the cabinet has been agreed upon. Now, on the foreign minister, as per sources, Bilawal Bhutto Zardari from the Pakistan People's Party will be there. Water and power will be given to Khwaja Muhammad Asif from the Pakistan Muslim League Nawaz. The planning and development ministry will be given to Ahsan Iqbal, who was the former planning and development minister as well under the PMLN. The Ministry of Interior will be given to Rana Sanaullah. The Ministry of Communications will be given to Khurshid Shah from the Pakistan People's Party. The Ministry of Religious Affairs will be given to Maulana Asad Mahmood from the JUIF. The Ministry of Information, the Federal Ministry of Information, will be given to Mariam Aurangzeb from the Pakistan Muslim League Nawaz. The Information Ministry for the state, that will be given to Shazia Mari from the Pakistan People's Party. Advisor on finance will be Miftah Ismail from the Pakistan Muslim League Nawaz. Then the Railways Minister will be Khwaja Saad Rafiq from the Pakistan Muslim League Nawaz. Information and Technology Ministry will go to Aminul Haq from the MQM. He was previously the Minister for IT as well. The Parliamentary Affairs Ministry, it's a bit disputed upon. Likely it is that Ayaz Sadiq, who is to chair today's session, is to get that. Then Petroleum and Energy Ministry is being hinted to go to Shahid Khaqan Abbasi. The Ministry for Privatization, it will be ran through an advisor, and that is likely to be Muhammad Zubair from the Pakistan Muslim League Nawaz. And the Ports and Shipping Ministry is likely to go to the Muttahida Qawmi Movement. So an allied cabinet that we're looking at, and this is what the sources are saying, expecting an announcement on that sometime mid-afternoon today, because remember today is that key vote as well in Punjab on the Chief Minister of Punjab, the election of the Chief Minister of Punjab. And then in this building that's behind me, that's the Pakistani Parliament. This is where we'll be seeing the election of the Speaker as well, and the voting on the no confidence motion against the Deputy Speaker. Now, what is pertinent to mention that since there is no Speaker right now, because the previous Speaker had resigned and an election or an official announcement for the election is yet to take place. Therefore, and well, the Deputy Speaker also has a no confidence motion moved against him. So today's session will be chaired by the panel of chairs member Ayaz Sadiq, who hails from the Pakistan Muslim League Nawaz. Saleh?
Absolutely indeed. And my last question to you, Anas, because this of course is going to be a very challenging time ahead for the newly formed government in Pakistan, and also because it is a formation of so many different parties with different ideologies that have come together. They came together to oust Imran Khan from power. But the question, of course, a lot of people have been asking is, how stable will this coalition be, and have these parties agreed on a common minimum program that they'll be implementing over the course of the next few weeks and months?
Well, they say they have two programs. One is the short-term program and one is the long-term program. I was part of the meeting that the Prime Minister undertook with journalists, Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif, on Tuesday after taking charge. And he said that they've got two plans laid out. He's also vowed that his aspirations are to continue the electoral tenure, that is about a year and a half left. And that only then they would want to go ahead with the elections. But at the same time, he gave a caveat that it is up to the allies that till when they decide to go ahead and call for an elections, because remember, electoral reforms is the priority. So that's a bit unclear how long will this continue. But one thing that is very certain is that with the apprehensions that allied party had over getting into cabinet, Shehbaz Sharif has clearly managed to convince them, and it gives a semblance or a hint that this coalition might just continue for at least a year, if not a year and a half, until the end of the electoral term, or this cabinet allies will continue for a year and a half at least, so that the electoral process in the transition for the upcoming elections and then the upcoming government, as and when they would be held sometime next year in October or November, that could probably be very, very smooth. Saleh?
Absolutely indeed. Thank you very much indeed, Anas Malik, for joining us and getting us all those updates from Islamabad there. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.